Let's end this trilogy of reviews right now. What a great trilogy. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel, and this is my review for Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. This is the final film in the original trilogy of movies that we will be reviewing for this series. Next up, we go to the sequel trilogy of Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens, and Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi, as Thursday night is the night that I get to see Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. How fitting it is that we get a movie like this, Episode 6, which really is heralding and praising the Skywalker name. Not only do we get Luke Skywalker in this film having to confront his father Darth Vader for one last time, but we get the redemption of Anakin Skywalker, and we find out that there is indeed Leia Skywalker, which really it's Leia Organa. It kind of sounds weird saying Leia Skywalker, but she is a Skywalker. This movie takes place a few years after the events of Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, where Luke, Leia, Chewbacca, R2-D2, C-3PO, and Lando are all trying to rescue Han Solo, who is frozen by carbonite by the gangster himself, Jabba the Hutt. They go on an adventure to try to once and for all finally take down the Empire and the Emperor and Darth Vader themselves with the help of some furry friends. This is a movie that I absolutely love, and it's one of those movies to me that has always resembled what Star Wars truly is. Now, Episode 5 is the greatest Star Wars film of all time. It's the greatest film of all time. This movie to me is right behind, distantly right behind Episode 5, Empire Strikes Back. There are a lot of things to love about this film. I'm not going to go into full detail of every single small detail of why I love this movie so much, but the highlights of this film that make it so good is the fact that we get a Jedi Knight in Luke Skywalker, who really has become this powerful Jedi, this powerful Force, who can finally now take down Darth Vader and the Emperor. We finally get to see the Emperor in this movie, where he actually feels fleshed out, and Ian McDiarmid does a fantastic job of crafting this character, making him very creepy, very menacing, but still yet very powerful and manipulating. And that's what I love about the Emperor, is he is such a manipulating character and manipulating force that he is able to kind of take the surrounding characters around him and make them bend to his will, which I think is just so awesome. And we get to see him truly be the character that we've all feared leading up to this film from Episodes 4 and Episode 5. Darth Vader in this film is awesome. I mean, Darth Vader is the best character ever in film. And so we finally get to see his redemption and his return back to Anakin Skywalker. And I love the confrontation between Luke and the Emperor. That is one of the best single-handed scenes ever in film. And it's something that I really appreciate every single time I watch this movie, because Luke has so much confidence. And he's not afraid of the Emperor. He's not going to bend to the will of the Emperor. He's really willing to kind of stand up for himself, stand up for his friends, and stand up for his father, and stand up for what he believes to be true. And he has been crafted and molded into this Jedi who is not going to have weaknesses in terms of turning over to the dark side of the Force. He knows what he has to do, and that is to not give in to the Emperor's will or Emperor's qualms. And that is just something that is so awesome, because that confrontation is heated, it's intense. You can feel the tension between the characters and the scenes, and everything just kind of feels like it's coming together beautifully, and it's crafting this very Shakespearean-like story. You get the Ewoks in this movie. Now, everyone craps on the Ewoks. I freaking love the Ewoks. They're amazing. They are some of my favorite creatures within the Star Wars universe. I've always loved the Ewoks. They're fun. They're cute little teddy bears. But I'll tell you what, they're savages. They will kill people and completely ruin people's well-being by just them being them. I mean, they're very protective of their herd, of their group. And it's a really nice moment where they initiate new people and people who aren't Ewoks into their tribe. Awesome stuff, and they help take down the stormtroopers, who really show that the stormtroopers pretty much suck. I mean, I'm not going to lie. They are pretty weak in all of these films, but I really love that the Ewoks kind of rise up and actually defeat the stormtroopers, who should be a lot more overpowered compared to these little tiny creatures, the Ewoks. But the Ewoks are freaking awesome. I love the Ewoks, and if you don't, screw you. That's all I gotta say. The one thing that I have always had a problem with about this film, and it's only because of the special editions that George Lucas did to the original trilogy, this one really feels the most edited, and I just don't like it. For example, do we really need that scene in Jabba's shack where you have the two creatures singing? I mean, it's a horrible song. It's very cheesy, and it just feels so out of place with the rest of the characters and the rest of the story. And it kind of almost just feels like George Lucas was like, you know, we need something in between here. Something fun for the kiddies. You know, let's just throw in a song. You know, that's fun, right? No, it's not. George, you gotta stop touching these movies. They're perfect, man. Luckily, he's not touching them anymore, but to me, I hate that whole sequence. I hate the song. I hate the cheesy characters and the way that they're dancing around. I mean, it's just so stupid. That's not the only part that has a lot of CGI in it and feels out of place. How about the ending? When they complete what they needed to do, they take down the Empire, everyone's celebrating, and you go to different worlds. Yeah, Gungans who are dancing. They're dancing. You can see them in a far distance, but you can tell they're Gungans. And then you have like all of these interesting, weird CGI shots that feel like they're from Phantom Menace. And to me, it just doesn't work. So that's my only issue with this movie. But that's something that was edited after the fact. This movie is fantastic. It's great. I love just how amazing this film is. We get the best lightsaber duel in the entire original trilogy. And we get to see different force power in the Emperor using force lightning out of his hands, which was never seen before this film. So I applaud this movie. This movie is so good, guys. Return of the Jedi, it's a great sequel to Empire Strikes Back, and it's not as good, obviously, but it still is a fantastic sequel that really wraps up the entire storyline of the original trilogy with a nice, pretty bow. Anyway, guys, what do you think about this movie? Let me know down below in the comment section of the video. Make sure you guys drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel for more content just like this, and I'll see you guys tomorrow as I review Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. And as always, may the Force be with you.